Kenyans are seeking help from all quarters: the government, the opposition, and the church.
And it appears that even that divine intervention does not come so easy. Here's Wilson Buru with this week's edition of Mock the Week.
The 39th week of the year, and boy, was this one week to remember. Well, for the most of us. If you are like this pastor from the Anglican Church, you'd have wanted this week to come to a screeching halt, or for the ground to open up and swallow you. But we'll get to that in a moment.
Let's first talk about these two fellows. Now, the two gentlemen you see here, Aden Duale and Isaac Ruto, they have been going at each other for quite a while now. And if you don't know or don't understand what their problem is, let me explain.
This guy says this guy ate money that belonged to the good people of Bomet and does not want to be asked about it, but instead wants to go around the country asking for a referendum, and this has annoyed this guy because, as he explains, so, to get the two sides of the story, the two were invited for an interview on NTV, but immediately there was a small problem with the seating arrangements.
Today, if I knew you will come and make me sit with somebody who has squandered 185 million of taxpayers' money, and you should have been in the middle, because this guy is like an Ebola.
First of all, I think there's something very disturbing about likening somebody to a deadly disease. And secondly, Isaac Ruto found out the hard way that trying to argue with Aden Duale can be a bit rugged.
The rest is propaganda. He's very good in propaganda.
It's not.
He's a master psychopath, as you can see, that is willing to jump from Kenyatta National, Kenyatta KICC. If William Ruto asks him to do that,
let me say.
All right, really, I think we should wind up.
That is the sort of leader.
This guy has no moral authority even to sit in a national television
on the basis
when 185 million is on his head.
All right. And after failing to agree on anything in that interview, they were asked to take it outside, which they did.
Ambeni Isaac Ruto, the Auditor General is looking for you. The Senate is looking for you.
Chama ya URP si ya mama ya mtu. Juzi Isaac ameambiwa ati pesa si ya mama yako, hata chama ya URP si ya Duale na si ya mama yake.
Kama hautosheki na uongozi wa Jubilee, wewe toka kama wewe mwenyewe.
Na wawache hiyo maneno ya kufanya chama cha URP as if ni chama chao. Hii chama ni wananchi.
Oh, this is so tedious. But I guess, you know, this is what Kenyan politics has now degenerated into, just yap, 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 yap. Mind you, these fellows are from the same party, so we're not going to get help from them. Let's see whether we can get any help from the opposition.
This is more like it. It's time to get down. In this other world, there seems to have been no problems. It was all fun and games and a little shaky-leggy until...
The opposition coalition court is now threatening to discipline governors who won't toe the referendum line.
Hold it right there, Baba.
Raila belongs to the Babu generation. You know, people who are grandfather.
Okay, fine. Hold it right there, Babu. Let's get on the same page here. Babu was not happy because some members of his court family were against the push for a referendum, and he was going to give them a serious spanking if they did not behave. But, if I remember correctly, Babu was the same guy who, a few weeks ago, said this.
Wacha kutita magavana yako. Wacha wao wako wana haki. Kama wanasema wamevaa uniform nyingine, wacha waende.
I have a question to the court leader. Which Raila Odinga are we supposed to take seriously? Is it the guy who says don't threaten your governors, or is it, you know, the guy who threatens members of his own court family for holding differing views?
Clearly, our country needs prayers, and who else do you go to if not your pastor? Let's go find our pastor, shall we? We caught up with this pastor from the ACK Pumwani Church, but it turns out that he was a bit held up. According to his explanation, he was apparently on some very serious prayer business. Here's the small problem with this scenario. The pastor and this woman are not husband and wife, which makes this whole encounter extremely awkward. In short, when the pastor got to the lodging, he told this woman,
you know what? Let's take the pastor's word for it, all right? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. The woman said she wanted to be prayed for. Yes? All right, good. So what were you doing naked? Why does it look like you are playing Chama Macha Baba? Unless,
just like David in the Bible who praised God until his clothes fell off, their clothes fell off as well. But instead of praising God, according to reports, they started praising each other's bodies. Okay, clearly we're not getting any help from this pastor. So let's recap what we have. We won't get any help from the government. I mean, they can't even keep their promise to standard 1 children. We can't get any help from the opposition, and we can't get any help from the church. So where do we turn to?
Hiyo waindi inanifurahisha. Hata kila dakika mbili geti je ajati shibutu amepigwa risasi. Alafu wanaanza kukatika, inanifurahisha. Kushbu. Hiyo. Kushbu. Ingine. Unaelewa hii kitu? Ni bunduki ndio nafurahi hapo. Hii ingine nilipoteza kesi yake. Lakini hii ni Ninja 3 na iko na Shaolin Temple.
And it turns out that the only help we will get is from somebody masquerading as the former president. Wilson Buru for KTN's Mock the Week.